Press Secretary to the Governor of Ekiti State. Moving on, as peace gradually returns to Borno State, one way to secure the future of the Northeast states is massive investment in education. The Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, is focused on this. As part of such efforts, Governor Zulum has flagged off a 300 million naira scholarship scheme in the states. The scholarship is in support of 300 orphans whose parents died as volunteers under the Civil Joint Task Force, vigilantes and hunters who fought Boko Haram and ISWAP along with the military. According to the governor, the money is set aside to cover all education needs in the 300 orphans throughout their basic education level before further education. Jide, this is novel because we can't use hopelessness to put on another hopeless situation. We have kids that they've lost their parents, and that's so unfortunate. Some of them civilian JTF, some of them people fighting at the war front, and these kids, I saw you with some of these orphans. So for Governor Zulum to say 300 million naira dedicated to these kids is something that it will go a long way.
You see, when you go to Borno State, some of the best schools were set up for orphans. You go to some schools in Borno State, all the students you find there are orphans. It takes a very strong will to not break down when you see some of those children. Because when I went to an orphanage that Azov is an international group in Borno State. They are running the orphanage. I went there. I saw girls as young as 5 years, and they were teaching them, and they are very sharp. You saw that video, because they made a presentation for me. Very sharp, very brilliant. And I will ask them, where are you from? They will mention the local government. Mother gone, father gone. We'll talk to another one. No parents at all. So this is the situation.
And we know the impact of parental love.
Yes,
right.
They don't even know what it feels like. How can a 5-year-old girl, maybe she was orphaned like 2 years before, what can that one say about parentage? She didn't grow up long enough to know her parents. And you see them, oblivious of their surroundings, oblivious of what's going on.
The challenges ahead.
Look at, I interviewed the head boy of a new school that President Buhari opened the last time I went to Borno State. Both the head boy and the head girl, I interviewed them. They are both orphans from different local governments. I mean, what the Boko Haram insurgency, the
calamity
that it has brought on our people, you can't explain it.
It's when you go close to that axis.
Yes, that's when you feel the extent of the problem. Okay, today we are happy that Boko Haram does not exist inside Maiduguri anymore. Who did it? It's the civilian JTF. It wasn't the army that pushed them out of the municipal. It was the civilian JTF. The boys just came together. They said, look, these boys who are terrorizing us, we know all their houses.
They are collaborators too.
They started going inside, went inside their houses one after another. That was how Boko Haram fighters fled into Sambisa. They used to kill people inside the city. Remember when Goodluck Jonathan went to do a town hall? Some of the people who spoke at that event were eventually murdered. Because they were present. They were in the city. They were building a new palace for the Shehu. In the night, Boko Haram fighters came and slaughtered the workers. Right in the heart of the city. They were doing such killings before these boys came together and said, no more. So they started going to their houses one after the other. That was how they chased them out of the town.
You understand the terrain.
No, of course, they know them. It's not that we grew up together, but you then chose to fall by the wayside. Of course, I know what to stand for. We argue, I know that you've made up your mind to be killing people. So they identified them, and they were going to the houses one after another. That was how they were chased out of Maiduguri. So today, the boys who have been killed, civilian JTF that have been killed, they are in excess of 700. And they too, they have families, they have loved ones. So this is a good initiative by this governor to say 300 orphans. When you see their children, see how many they are, you know, and I'm sure this is just the first phase.
Yes.
You know the extent to which they have paid with their lives.
Education is so strategic in a place like this, where children grow up that they are just like layabouts, and they are recruited because the idle hand is the devil's workshop, and you just see them recruiting people that jobless students. But in a situation where these ones, they are educated, they know they are left from right, it will be very difficult to indoctrinate them.
Yeah, and that's why the governor's efforts should be commended, really. And I also want to point out the fact that education in Borno State is free. So if the governor gives 300 million naira scholarship, it is not for them to go to primary school or secondary school. I guess that money is meant for the parents to be able to buy them school uniforms when they tear, to buy their shoes and all of that, to make them look good, and probably get meals, you know, going to school. So which makes the efforts of the governor commendable. But I always say that probably because the governor himself is an educationist, he puts the right premium on education, because this is not the first time that is taking care of, you know, emphasizing and prioritizing education, the education of these people, from even the normal schools that are in the place. You know that this man understands the value of education. You can imagine these orphans, those who have parents are being recruited. So you cannot imagine the ones who don't even have anybody that can protect them or lead them or anything. So these ones will have been easy recruits for these terrorists. But with this, and the fact that even the mothers also are empowered, because he also gave, I think, another 15 million naira to the mothers, to the
bags of rice.
And so at least that will help to, you know, take care of these children. It's so sad. When I even saw that figure of 300 orphans, I mean, you showed that, because 300 children orphaned.
Yeah,
it shows, it gives you an idea.
But the schools that they have, they're talking about thousands of students, and these are orphans.
Thousands.
Mega schools.
Yes,
the people are there are just orphans.
All of them.
Yes.
So these ones are just children of civilians.
Because for security reasons, a lot of the schools in those distant local governments have shut down.
Okay.
Yes.
So they bring
combined
them
everything in
to
Maiduguri.
which was the mistake that was made during the Chibok era. Perhaps if they had been, in fact, I'm convinced, not perhaps, if they had been brought to Maiduguri, you know, to write that exam, they would not have died.
Yeah.
You know, so now they've not made that mistake since that time. You see a school, a unity school meant for Monguno. They relocated them to the state capital. They put them in the Muhammadu Buhari Academy. That is where they are using as their school. Because to say they should go to Monguno now,
it's like sending them
everyone
to
the way they will kidnap all of them. So it's I'm happy that this sends a message that, look, these people are not forgotten. I was there's a JTF leader in a place called Ganze local government. He had been giving Boko Haram so much problem, giving them so much problem. You know what they did? They waited. Once it was night time, they stormed the area. They dressed like normal people, and they were asking for the house of the guy. I think they eventually got somebody at gunpoint to take them to his house. They slaughtered him like a ram. I even have his picture. I sent his picture to the producer. They slaughtered him like a ram. These are the kind of sacrifices that these people are making. In Maiduguri, when I'm traveling through communities, the first set of people to check a vehicle is usually the civilian JTF. It is when the thing is above their power, you now see soldiers coming in. And they also they join soldiers in operations. You see them sometimes jubilating together when they win. So those boys made up their minds to lay down their lives. See, this is the Ganze commander of civilian JTF.
He was killed.
He was slaughtered in his house. You know? He was slaughtered in his house. They came. They came. They killed so many of them like that. If you are giving them problem, they will wait. They will take their time and take you out. And they've killed many hunters too. You know? Because they fear these guys because a lot of them too have juju. So yes, they fear them.
The locals.
They fear them. Those boys know them very well. So they fear them and they see them as a big threat. So to remember them in the way the governor has done, I think the governor deserves a lot of commendation. He has always shown that he's a man for the rest of us. He has always shown that he's a man for the people. Yes, because he too had a very humble background. He had to drive taxi here in Lagos to pay for his education. And he schooled here at UI. You know, so he had to drive taxi. He had a humble background, so the governor is not the sort of person who will easily forget that your people are suffering. You know, you see them, Governor Zulum can stand for 3 hours just distributing millions of naira to people. He's not going to outsource it. Those women, they will line up, you will be giving them money one after another. At the end of the day, you hear that he distributed more than 50 million naira cash or even 100 million. So that's what he do. He's passionate about it. He's happy. And when he sees that you are setting the right example, he's happy to reward you. Look at the Igbo woman.
Yes.
Naturally, she can't rise. She was a primary school teacher. She can't rise to be head teacher. But he promoted her to assistant head teacher.
Because of
her diligence. They said the woman will get to the school before 7 a.m. She will get there every day. That's her. One day God said, look,
I'm going to reward you.
I'm going to reward you for all of this industry. And the governor made that his usual surprise. I just found the woman at work. I said, who are you? Then the woman introduced herself.
Not even now, sir.
She had been in that school for more than 10 years. I think 15 years or so, or more. 25 years. One school. Just teaching. So, and the governor rewarded. So, this is the sort of thing that I want our leaders to do. And that's why the governor is very...
And using education as a tool is a very good way, you know, to de-radicalize these people, to enlighten them, and to, you know, to tell them that, look, nobody can come and tell you that when you kill yourself or you blow yourself in the explosion,
the truth is that
you go and meet 12 virgins.
Education is very vital in fighting
it will just liberate your mind.
Yeah, because it's what you believe in that determines what you do, and your environment is very important.
It is the doctrine that they are giving to these people, telling them all sorts of stories. That's why you see suicide bombers.
They are impressionable. They are impressionable. You can tell them anything that we just go in. So it's where you actually direct them. Using education as a tool, you are directing them to the right way. And definitely, if they are able to think right, they will be able to analyze situations. Even if you come to them, they will be able to take decisions.
Somebody who has maybe knowledge that is inferior to your own come and be telling you lies.
I will not see 12 virgins, and after this...
He has not been there before. He's telling you stories about the place. He too is reluctant to go there.
And if you one thing about terrorist leaders, if you see when the Osama bin Laden, when the account that was given before he was killed, and even this man in Iraq.
Who wants to die?
No, they don't. They make themselves very comfortable.
Yes.
So their story, they will leave their story there.
Ahmad is calling us. Thank you for joining us.
Good day, Rayo.
Yes, Ahmad.
Please, I would like to talk about that Governor Zulum.
Go ahead.
The Look, if you guys present that guy in APC as a presidential candidate, wallahi, Allah, everybody will vote for him.
They've not presented him.
We are not politicians.
They've not presented. No political party has presented him now.
Why are you saying
That
you guys
guy,
as
that
if we are
governor,
APC? What are
be our
business
governor.
who they produce as their candidate? That
No
is their
political
problem.
party.
We don't belong to any party. We don't belong. We don't even vote. On election day, we will be doing our work. I will be in the studio. He will be on the field. We don't care who is president. So by using the word "if you people," you are assuming that I am Tinubu or that he is the chairman of the APC national. Is the APC national chairman. We have no hand in who they choose. It's not our business now. Why don't you people see us as part of APC? What's our own with APC? Huh?
Well, I understand what you're trying to say. He's just trying to say.
No, he's just trying to actually say that he has the quality.
You shouldn't have used we.
Jewish people.
Do you know, it's the same thing that some of the idle boys on social media say. They still say APC my party. APC my party. They call it my party. And I'm like, if it's truly my party, and I like the party the way they are saying, I won't be criticizing the government the way I do. These people don't reason. I don't understand. You say your party. That's how they refer to me. And to imagine that on a day that I've seen a lot of such silly write-ups, somebody is using we. That if you people, are we the ones choosing leaders for APC?
Well, wait till 2027. Governor Zulum might be eligible that time. All right. Just when